This lot has been sent to me from Elecrow, which is a new one to me, and they wanted me to try out their e-ink screens, which do seem actually easier than they first appear at a glance to work with, so we'll see about that. But they also said we'd love you to try out this thing, their Crowview. And I said yes, of course. It's a very interesting thing to me because I've been using this guy for some time. This is the NextDock, which essentially is a laptop shell without an actual computer in it. And that's what this is, although this is much cheaper than the NextDock. And actually a 14-inch portable monitor, HD, with a keyboard and pointing device for just $140. It's a pretty good deal. 500 milliamp hour battery, 180 degrees so it can open flat, USB Type-C, and it's talking about being useful with Raspberry Pis, Jetson, single board computers, and you can buy these bridges which like literally your Pi could actually sit and slot into the side, and it'd just be far more easy to keep it connected and move it around. But also something you can connect to DeX, for example, on a Samsung, or when Android eventually gets its own desktop mode, that as well. It's a very plastic shell there, a very basic kind of look here. I mean, if I gave this to a kid at school and said, there you go, there's your new laptop, they'd be pretty underwhelmed by the build quality there. It even has a barrel adapter. I don't know whether it can be powered by USB-C. Yeah, it does appear to be. Should we try that? Well, let's try first off. Can I do it all from my phone? No signal so far, but it was getting charged from there. This side is the one for signal, I believe. Yep, connected to an external display, there we go. That's quite nice, that's actually quite large. Let's compare that to NextDock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same size screen actually. The overall package here is smaller. How much is the NextDock? And this isn't touchscreen, whereas the NextDock is. This is a awful feeling trackpad, but fine. I don't know whether the NextDock Touch even exists anymore. Yep, $300 for the wireless version, which mine isn't. I think this is discontinued now, being quite a lot older than the current models. But okay, this is still a lot cheaper. And if you're looking for something where you can just plug it in and use it with DeX, or just with whatever project board you're working on, this could be really useful. Battery indicator there. Okay, cool. The one thing that I can say though about the NextDock is it's actually quite nice to write on. So yeah, it's a very basic feeling keyboard and mouse, but it's not as dead a feeling as some that I've used before though. Certainly though, this is not a premium writing experience. Do you know though, I think that's fine. And I think that's fine if you're looking just for a way into this kind of idea of carrying external display, keyboard and mouse all in one package and being able to connect it into a variety of different modes. I think that's cool. They certainly give you a lot of connections with it. So A to A for keyboard and mouse basically. HDMI mini to full size. It is an HDMI mini on the side here, which again, not such a good thing as the NextDock itself, which does have a full size HDMI. So yeah, it's either side you've got a USB-A port, so that's good. Power on this side, USB-C on either side as well. One of them for charging and the other one not. So, you know, it's got what it needs. I will live with that. I will use it for a couple of projects and I will let you know. And they've also sent me this, which this is a little 4.5-inch e-ink board. This 4.5-inch e-ink board you can connect via USB-C and should be able to control what it displays via a computer. So we'll see. Maybe I'll mount that up something on my desk. Just a nice thing to have a go with some projects with. It's even got a TF card slot, which I guess you could load some images for it to cycle through. I think it's designed to be a kind of controller of some sort, or an information display. A little bit like the terminal really. Well, it's exactly like the terminal, isn't it? But with no built-in software. So you're on your own with this, and I feel quite lost already. Thanks very much Elecrow for sending these out. So I'm using the Crowview here with my new N150 Mini that I'm testing out, and it's working really quite well. I will say that, yeah, the battery isn't as large as it could be. The plasticky build It's pretty poor. The trackpad is awful, but it is no longer the worst trackpad that I've ever used. There has been one even worse than this one, but it's plasticky, cheap build, but it's a 1080p screen with a full keyboard and pointing device for you to connect into anything and use at a moment's notice. That's a really good thing. Also, this mini PC just would not accept keyboard and mouse via the USB-C, and the Crowview didn't accept from the USB-A on the mini PC to the Crowview in its USB-C. So I had to find an A to A cable, and I thought, well, I can't remember the last time I saw an A to A cable, but luckily with the Crowview package, they did include an A to A cable. So I think that it comes as a package with just about every eventuality covered. And there you go. Now I can fully use my PC here, just like a little laptop. And you can see what they're doing with these tiny little chipsets. You can put an N150 in something like that. You can put an N150 into something like this. This is the Chewy laptop, and you can have a decent experience. So the Crowview as an alternative to the much more expensive NextDock that I tried, it's a good thing. Very impressed with it, very pleased. If you just want something that's an integrated display, battery, keyboard, pointing device, I can recommend this. Now, as for the other little guy they sent over, I mean, it's gonna be just a little bit longer before I get my head around how to use this thing. So if you have any experience, is it EP32 board, then please let me know. I can, however, just do a very quick little demonstration, because if you plug it into power, it already has the demo software on it, so you can see what you can do with it. ESP32, 4.2 inch e-ink paper. You can see all the stats there. So you've got half a gigabyte of actual RAM on here as well. And you can see it's got a little controller, so you can move between the different options and select. So please, if you've got any experience with coding for an ESP32 board, then please let me know. It would be fun to get this to do something useful in my life. You can see how to get back into the previous menus. They've got two other buttons, one indicated by this indicator down here, another one at the top. And that top one takes you back to this home screen. They've included a set of images here, which you can cycle through with the little controller. So you could load some of those into the TF card slot and just have it just displaying a bunch of images. Perhaps you want to cycle through what a different room status is. Or I could have an on-air sign on my door, couldn't I? I could change it to that when I wasn't to be disturbed in the studio. Or as they've given you the sort of idea that this could be used as a controller for lights in different rooms, so you could toggle through and turn them on and off. Obviously this isn't working right now, but you could have it connected such that it could turn different lamps on and off in your house. So cool. I mean, let me know if you know anything about these and you want to suggest a use case for me, something that I can do with it. What they do have on Elecrow's website and on their YouTube channel is they do have a whole bunch of tutorials. So I might just start one of their tutorials and follow through to actually learn how to code for this thing. Would be certainly very interesting.